So hi, and welcome back to my channel. So today's topic is COVID burnout survival. Basically, it's surviving the burnout during this COVID period. So here's the problem. We're getting daily updates constantly from the media, and that's harmful. It's death rates, who's died, new infections, daily, hourly update, and we're not focusing on the survival rates. We're promoting anxiety and stress. People are all stressed out. We're obsessed with the virus, or at least the media is. And this has been going on for 8 months, 9 months, and it's going to be 10 months soon. It's a daily dose of poison. So it's the constant anxiety, the exhaustion, the stress, the fed up of this thing. So the result is we're getting depression, mental health issues, suicidal thoughts. Yes, a lot of people are thinking of suicide. And the solutions currently proposed is, well, if you're depressed, phone a 1-800 number. It takes more than that. Stay home, don't go out, avoid groups, isolate, lockdowns, closures, fear, warnings, etc. This is not healthy, it's no way to live, and it's going to have an effect on people. Now, the anxiety and stress is worse than the virus in many cases, because it's constant anxiety, constant stress, and it's going to cause people to get sick. It's not a normal way to live. It causes stress in itself. You have pandemic fatigue, misinformation, false info. You have fear out there, more restrictions and lockdowns. And more importantly, you now have pushback from people, disobedience, social unrest. People are pissed off. They're losing their businesses. They're not happy. They're fighting back. This has become normal. This is the normal. It's no real end in sight. Social unrest. You also have people facing financial and economic crisis. They have debts, bills, loss of income. They have worries, job insecurity, layoffs, unemployment, career insecurity. This is stuff that we hear in the news all the time. And then the economy is not doing all that well. You have unemployment, you have layoffs, business closures, closed down cities, general economic malaise. So this doesn't help to add to the stress levels. So we're facing a pandemic burnout. People are just burned out. They're fed up. They can't take it anymore. They're tired of being locked down. They're pushing back, fighting back, demonstrating, social unrest, you name it. So this is a burnout, and it is not a disease you catch. It is a condition. It's a buildup of stress and tension over time, and this leads to breakdowns, i.e. nervous breakdowns, and possible hospitalization and convalescence. And this is where all of a sudden the virus spreads, and all of a sudden people get sick because they're just so stressed out and burnt out. So depression and burnout go together and are serious conditions. And we are facing a collective burnout where people are getting depressed, they're burnt out, it's a stressful environment, you can't do this, you can't do that. There's constant bad news from the media, daily stress levels, continuous stress. We're going to give you the daily updates. This is like a daily dose of poison, the death rates, the infection rates. And there's no outlet for the stress. You can't go out. You can't do anything. Everything is closed down. So this builds up over time, daily dose of poison and stress. Disruptions in life and in the economy, and possible wrong diagnosis about COVID, i.e. the infection rates go up. That's it. We're going to lock down. In Britain right now, they're under full lockdown. I don't know what else they can do. Lock people in their apartments, chain them to their beds. What's next? What's next? You've locked down everything and the infection rates are still going up. There's still deaths because that's what the virus does. The lockdowns may not be the solution. The social burnout contributes to the rise in daily infections and deaths. And burnout leads to all sorts of health issues, short and longer term, from people having heart attacks because of stress, cancers, you name it. There's fatigue. There's all sorts of things that are conditions connected to burnout. And younger people with no underlying conditions are getting the virus. Why? Because they're stressed out. The virus is spreading because of stress. People don't realize they are burnt out or under stress. It's just like, well, I guess it's normal. It's considered normal and routine. They have weakened immune systems. It's generalized acceptance. It's deterioration. I mean, how did you feel a year ago? You didn't feel like this. Well, now it's the way it is. We have to accept it. We'll get through. We're in it together, etc. But this all leads to weakened immune system. People not the eating properly, the stress and burnout. It weakens the immune system, opens the door to infection, complications, and possibly death. And then people don't eat properly or skip meals. This doesn't help. So everything seems to be going haywire here. And it's a vicious cycle. So over here we have the person, he's stressed, he's weakened immune system, he's fatigued, he's fear, he's got burnout, he may or may not test positive, but people do test positive. Okay, that's it. Then the government puts down more restrictions, more lockdowns. The government officials freak out. There's more worry, increased infections, death, more fear. Collectively, as a society, we have increased stress levels, anxiety, more depression, more economic stress, more infections, hospitalizations, more bad news in the media, more deaths, more hospital problems. It's like gotten to the point where this person gets more stress, etc. So he gets it. The government puts down more restrictions, more bad news. Collectively, we get more stress. And we have this vicious cycle that's just keeping the whole thing going. The pandemic is getting worse. People are more restricted, more fatigued, burned out, etc. And this vicious cycle just goes on and on and on. And things are getting worse. The hospitals are overwhelmed. Why? Because everybody's so stressed out. We may have to look at this and say, hey, we got to stop this insanity at some point. So going forward, this may have, we may be in a stress pandemic aided by the virus infections. So expect more increases in all diseases. Death rates will increase sharply. And again, vaccines don't handle stress. The solution is to de-stress for now and refocus. So the solution is to getting through this media barrage of negative news and the COVID is understand the condition. You have to make necessary changes in your life. Tune out the negative news. Keep things in perspective and context. And hopefully knowledge is freedom. So hopefully we can all get through this. But right now realize that we're in collective burnout and you would have to handle this as a burnout condition in many cases. So thank you very much. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it's given you some information and insight. And thank you for watching. And please subscribe and like. And I will see you next time. Thank you.